All right, folks, we are back for more Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising action for you here, and we have, well, we're going to make a tier list. I'm kind of doing this at the same time. On YouTube, you're not going to see this. I'm going to be cutting out all the little stuff in the middle, but I'm making this while I'm watching EVO. So we're going to be doing this. We're going to be making a tier list for before the patch, essentially, right? So this is, obviously, there's, some demos of the patch at EVO, but mostly it's like, Gran and Lucillius and things like this. This is going to assume that none of that's happening, right? We're just going to assume what I know of how they are in-game right now, and we'll go from there. I guess, right, since we're going kind of in between, you can see, like, there's, they're doing, like, 2-minute breaks in between the different pool brackets here. So I'm just going to set up the tiers. How did I have it in the last one? I want to have it similarly to the last one, just so that, I can, just so I can compare and contrast a little bit easier. This is the 1.0 tier list that me, Lazy, and Blast made. We had S+ up all the way down to B. That sounds right. That sounds right. S+ all the way down to B. We'll do that. S+, S, A, B, right? We had an A+, actually, I think, too. That, and also, it's all very arbitrary, right? But the point is, like, I don't think there's, like, even the really bad characters in this game aren't, like, they're not unplayable, right? It's like a D, like, some of them are real bad. Some of them need some help. But it's more so a matter of, like, inconsistency and the fact they're not going to be winning over and over and over again, right? Rather than the fact that they literally can't win a game. Vane is unplayable? I mean, no. Yago is playing him at EVO right now, and he won some of his pools matches. I don't know how he ended up going, but Vane's bad, though. Vane's real bad, for sure. But yeah, so that's going to be the setup there. I mean, you know what? Well, let's just get one thing out of the way, and well, actually, we got 13 seconds. I'm gonna pause. I'll be right back. But make a Vane tier? We'll see. But yeah, like this is how it's gonna go. For the guys on the stream here, we're gonna do this. We're gonna pause. Right? We're gonna come back. That's how it's gonna be. It's that easy. We're back. Okay. So let's talk about it real quick. Belial's honest. Well, we're gonna get to Belial in a second here. Let's talk about so real quick. What makes a character good in this game? Right? There's a lot of things, but it's because we're gonna reference this a lot, I think, as we go. Right? There are lots of characters that can have crazy rounds, but I think one of the things that makes a character really good, well, yeah, you can say a DP, sure, but like, I'm talking more so big picture. It is consistency, and it's having a strong game plan that is easy to enforce and hard to stop, right? There's specific things too, like a meterless DP is obviously great. Having a good way to deal with the universal mechanics is good. Having a way to deal with, like, a good way to deal with brave counters, a good, like, throw bait that isn't just, I've gotten a lot more respect for, like, the universal offense in this game. The ability, like, shimmy, to counter hit close age, to, like, delay, right? But having a good unique way to, like, bait a throw or bait BC or something like that is definitely very good, right? So, like, that's, we'll get into some more examples, right? But, I mean, so obviously let's talk about, why not? Sure, fuck. I will say, this is gonna be slightly different. Let's just do this. Let's get some fellas on here real quick, because these are in my, where's our brunette boy, right? And then where's that little gremlin, and then the sexual predator. So let's just get this out of the way real quick. I don't think there's, like, a titanic gap between, for example, let's say we do this, right? Let's say, like, Djeeta goes down here or something, right? It's not like, oh my god, Djeeta is thousands and thousands of miles behind Belial, Seox, Nier, and Siegfried. No, not at all, right? It's not how it works. It's just like, if I had to identify, in my head, when I think of Djeeta belongs in S+, you can make the argument for sure. Djeeta is very good. I'm gonna keep her here for now. We're gonna think about it for a second, right? But, even if she is here, I'm just, for the sake of example, is it like suddenly, Djeeta is totally weak and bullshit and stupid and can't do anything, and Belial is a god of the game? Lancelot, where? I'll get to him in a second. We'll go piece by piece here. But the point is, these four to me are kind of exemplify everything that I just talked about, right? In the sense of, they have very, Nier's win condition, for example, to talk about Nier, is just to get you to block death, basically, which is super easy to do when she has Ominous Turn, when she has, when she has the Claw, when she, it's when she has 2-2-U, right? What's going on, Visual? When just getting you to block death is basically Nier's win condition, and that is a very, very easy win condition to enforce and a very hard one to stop, right? Siegfried, similar thing, he just has to win neutral once, basically, and, okay, I will say, Siegfried probably doesn't have, of everyone here, of the 4 people here, Siegfried probably has the worst offense, right? But he's not as scary to block in terms of just, like, pure, mental stack and mix. But also he just, like, EX fireballs once, and you're in that situation anyway, right? So it's still very advantageous to be in the corner regardless, especially when you have as good of buttons as this guy has, right? So these four kind of, to me, exemplify, these are characters that, Nier has weaknesses for sure. Nier actually is, which is crazy to say, right? Nier probably has the most weaknesses out of these four. But Nier also has, her strengths are more insane than anyone else here, right? Nier it can, loop 50-50s, mid-screen damage is the same as corner damage, she just had, but she does in theory, right? She's she has lower than average health, and her DP is like her meterless DP. For meterless DP, it's like bottom 2 or something, right? But the characters, we don't have to talk about why Nier is so strong, right? Looping 50-50s, insane damage. Next match about to start. We'll hop back in a second here. Like best ultimate, the 3 best ultimate skills in the game, right? Just so many different pressure options, unblockable raging strike setups. This character is pretty crazy, right? All right. So like I was saying, yeah. So so Siegfried also. So Nier we obviously just talked about, right? Again, like looping 50-50s, best ultimate skills in the game, plus on everything, safe on everything, does insane damage, incredible neutral, some of the best buttons in the whole game. But her defense is a little bit in the sense like her DP is not very good. Her buttons are great for matching on defense, and her health is pretty low, right? But again, like we talked about earlier, very good way to deal with BC. Nier is the character that deals with BC the best in the whole game, right? BCing against Nier in a lot of cases is like certain death, right? Very, very solid, simple game plan, easy to enforce, hard to stop, etc. So you get the idea, right? Same thing with Siegfried. And we can like these top. We don't have to talk too much, I think, about like why everyone knows these characters are strong, right? Very simple game plan, right? If you get like tons of damage, great buttons, right? Like EX Fireball is maybe still the best special move in the whole game, at least the best non-U special move in the whole game, right? It's up there at least, right? I mean, the guy has the biggest DP in the game. He has like the biggest 2H in the game. He has some of the biggest buttons in the game in general. He's got 17,000 health, which is something, by the way, that I don't think is talked about enough. There are only 4 characters with above average health in this game, right? Soriz and Siegfried have 17,000. Vaseraga and Ladiva have 18,000, right? Vaseraga and Ladiva pay with their goddamn life for that 18,000 health, right? Soriz is fine. He's not weak, right? Siegfried has like above average health and everything else that he has, right? The guy has nothing that's wrong with him at all, right? He has the best super in the game too. I thought Bubs had a better 2H. Nope. Grimnir is actually the only one that's really competing with Siegfried in terms of size from what I saw, right? Siegfried 2H is like, it goes above the health bar and like 2 character links in front of him. It's insane. Seox, again, similar thing. Really, really good throw bait. Very good at dealing with BC. Just incredibly hard to stop once he gets you to block. It's not hard for him to get in on you either, right? 2B2, oh yeah, right. 2B2H also, yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest ones too. It's not hard for Seox to get you to block. You notice a lot of these characters, like their win condition isn't even like getting a knockdown, getting some set play. No, like if you block these characters, you are already in trouble, even if it's in mid-screen, right? And Seox is definitely no stranger to that. And again, the guy just like gets in on you for very easily, right? It's very hard to, like, even if you are a dedicated zoner, it is impossible to keep this guy out. Let alone if you're someone who's just like, with just a regular character that doesn't have like a bunch of projectiles or something, right? So, but you see in a similar pattern, right? Again, just very good at dealing with BC, very good at dealing with throws, right? Very good throw bait option, because otherwise throw taking is very strong in this game, right? Outside of just like, yes, you can shimmy, yes, you can delay close age, but throw taking is very good in this game. So you have to get people to, you have to kill throw in certain ways. Again, his win condition is get you to block him, right? And his ability to do that is super easy, right? A lot of his special moves are very easy ways to cheat in and be either safe or plus on block, depending on what you're doing, right? His parry is really good, and he has a lot of different options out of it. He has a lot of ways to cheat through the neutral, basically. You're going to see this a lot, right? And again, similar thing. We're not going to spend too long talking about the top tier because they're all good, except for Nier, kind of, right? Nier is like, she's the least well-rounded of the top tiers, actually, but she just gets looping 50-50s into nonsense and is plus 500 on block all the time, right? But like, these 3 are all pretty good for very similar reasons, right? Belial, similar thing, right? It is never not Belial's turn. Belial has some of the, like, just overall, he's got fast walk speed, he's got really good buttons to shimmy you with, right? Far H is maybe, like, people are talking about maybe it's the best normal in the whole game, possibly. It's the best shimmy button in the game for sure, right? Belial's 9-frame Far H, the claw there. He runs in and kills you. This character is terrifying to block. He's got a command grab. He's got a plus on block MDP. He's got a plus on block fireball. You can steal turns with the M fireball, right? There are 700 different ways for Belial to steal turns back. And then he still is like, of the universal mechanics, he's the best probably at like, the walk in, walk out, shimmy, the delay, close age, all that game. Like Belial's probably the best at that. And then has all these other tools to keep his pressure up also. He's actually, of all of these guys, probably, he's not super good at dealing with you just like BCing him or something, right? But it kind of doesn't matter, just because like in general, it's so scary. His pressure is still so scary, and he's still so good at just extending his turn forever, that even if you like BC him once or twice, he'll be fine. He's gonna get back in, right? He's got, obviously 2M being a plus on, like, yeah, he's the only one with a plus on block 2M here, I think, right? 2M being plus 1 on block is a joke. This guy's DP is also minus 12 on block for some reason. Some characters can't even Far H punish this if he spaces it out properly, right? Belial is just, Belial actually is probably the most just flawless of all of the characters here, right? Like maybe you could say maybe all 3 of, like, Nier is the only like glaring weaknesses, right? But like these three are all pretty like devoid of weaknesses in any way, shape, or form, right? I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, those are in my eyes. When I think of best characters in the game, I think of these four, right? We'll talk about like there's Djeeta, maybe like Lancelot. There's other characters in there too, but like these are the ones that come to mind right now when I think of the best characters in Gran Blue Fantasy Versus Rising. Right? Is the stream back up? Stream is back up. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so next break, not Chipotle X Tekka. Yeah, Chipotle's doing work for the community. They're putting money into the scene. I don't mind it. But yeah, so those are in my opinion the top four. We kind of talking while we were watching some Evo about like whether Djeeta should be up here, what should be down here. I don't know, man. Again, I think it's one of those things where like if you want to put her up here, right? That's fine. If you want to put her down here, that's fine. Like Djeeta is very strong for sure. I think in a lot of ways she is actually pretty similar to Belial, since they're both they're both very good at like kind of that sort of footsies, whiff punish style gameplay. Belial does more damage. Djeeta has better corner carry, right? Belial has better. He's better at that general style of game overall, probably, but Djeeta has better ultimate skills. You might notice Belial never uses ultimate skills, basically. Right? His U as Modius is nice for like that reset, where he can like guaranteed combo you if you don't Brave counter him, right? But Belial, kind of like his regular skills are good enough, and his super is useful enough for his damage, but like he doesn't really use his ult skills very much. That's because they're not really that insane, right? Djeeta, obviously, Eureka, one of the best ult skills in the game. Fireball, also one of the best ult skills in the game. So like, I could do this. I don't mind this too much, I don't think. But the point I want to make though is that like say now, right? Let's say we do this next or something, right? Again, because remember this is Lancelot. I believe in the last patch that I made was sort of in the same tier as all of these fellas up here, right? Well, I think we had Nier and Siegfried's kind of in their own, and then these three kind of down here, right? Lancelot did actually like some of the nerfs they did to Lancelot actually did matter a lot, right? Like a lot of his Fireball stuff is not real now, basically, outside of some like he can mediate in some ways, right? But in a lot of ways now, Fireball is not as oppressive as it used to be, right? The Blade Impulse is not quite as much of a brain dead neutral option as it used to be, right? Lancelot is still very, 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 very good, right? But the point I want to make though is, say Lancelot is here, does that mean that suddenly Djeeta is 100 times? Lancelot's not even top 5; he's top 6. Okay, listen, he's still very strong. He's still very strong. Probably still needs to get nerfed a little bit more in August, right? But he's not, maybe he's not on the exact same level there, right? But if people get I think a little too tied up sometimes in just like he's the top of S or the bottom of S plus doesn't really matter, right? I think he's still very good. Does it change the fact that he's still a very strong character? I don't think so. But yeah, so Lancelot obviously again he's similar-ish to Seox, right? In the sense, at least compared to everyone else we put on here, in the sense at least they're both like characters like they're more so just like quick little rush down mosquito buzz mix your shit out of your socks characters, right? Obviously, Fireball is still good. That the slowdown effect on that is insane, right? His normals are pretty ass, right? That's the one thing. Lancelot's buttons are actually pretty like not good, right? But other than that, he's kind of laughing. Eureka, Lancelot's Eureka is a funny button. It is just it's a plus on block neutral skip. Like you might look at like like a Soriz U dash punch or something. Pretty nice. Full screen, armored, neutral skip, things like that. Lance's Rekka is plus on block, right? Lance's super, I think in SBA can be made plus on block if you so desire, right? Also, one of the other things really good about Lance is he can get out of the corner really. It is actually very hard. When you have Lance in the corner, it is very hard to keep him there. Some maybe easier for some characters than others. If you have a Siegfried 2H, it's probably not as bad to keep Lance in the corner. But like he actually can just leave. He can just like hop off that little wall and he just gets out a lot of the time. Especially if you commit to anything like a little bit too much, a little bit too committal on your offense. Lance just like gets out of the corner, and then also that makes you in the corner now, right? He's very good at side swapping. He's got some very nice corner carry. He's got some pretty high damage, surprisingly. He's got some very long cutscene combos. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't make him better that his combos are long, but in a way it can make it a little bit annoying to fight against, I suppose. The only thing that the reason why I would say Lancelot isn't in the same tier as Djeeta, Belial, Seox, Siegfried, and Nier is that he doesn't have, his buttons aren't great. Obviously does not have a meterless DP. That hurts, right? That's not mandatory, right? But that hurts for sure. I mean, Nier almost doesn't have a meterless DP, but yeah. And again, he did actually get touched a little bit by the patch for sure, right? Like Fireball, things like this, they actually did get a little bit worse. Still very good, still very, very good, right? Again, still has very good throw baits, very good ways to deal with Brave counter, right? Like all the universal stuff we're talking about. Just like he has a couple more holes in getting his game plan off than these guys. I guess we didn't talk about Djeeta, by the way, that much. Djeeta is basically just, she's Belial with better use skills and worse buttons and lower damage and better corner carry, right? Like they're really not that different otherwise. Belial has better buttons and higher damage. She has more corner carry and better use skills. I probably take that package for Belial overall better, right? But she's very strong, very, very, just very well-rounded character. I guess, you know, since we're talking about Djeeta being so good, it might surprise you then, because Gran, let's just go in order of the characters on screen here now. Right, taking one of these longer blocks between commentary blocks, right? Yeah, okay. Why? So Gran is not going to be anywhere up here, really. He's going to be, like, Gran's not bad. Gran isn't bad, right? But Gran is, I don't know, man. Like, Gran is, I mean, like, we'll get more context. He's, like, somewhere here, probably. And, like, so why Djeeta and Gran are the same character, right? I mean, they got the same walk speed. They're very similar. Like, why is Djeeta top 5? And why is Gran, like, so, yeah, some people are saying A2. Like, maybe. I'll get more context as I, like, see who I want to put. And I'll put him here for now, and we'll see how that tier ends up looking. I might move him down. But what's the big difference, right? Why is Gran so far below Djeeta? And it's a couple of things, right? One, right? So, Gran does, let's talk about what Gran is better at than Djeeta, right? Gran does higher average damage than Djeeta most of the time. Off of most hits that Gran gets, he is going to hurt more, right? Gran has a plus on block 2M, which I don't believe, I probably should double check this. I'm pretty sure Djeeta's 2M is not plus on block, right? So Gran has a plus 1 on block 2M. That's pretty damn good. Let's see. Let me just make sure I'm not saying anything that's wrong here. Yeah. Djeeta's 2M is minus 3 on block. That's right. It's a lot bigger, but it's minus 3 on block. Yeah. So Gran has a plus on block 2M, plus 1 on block 2. That's very good. Belial's the same thing. It's one of the best things about Belial. It's definitely good about Gran too. And he has more damage on average, right? But his corner carry is worse. He plays a similar. His 5M is also faster. Correct. It's not a low. His 2M is not a low. Yeah, but it's you know, it's plus on blocks though. This is the main point I want to get across. His corner carry is a lot worse. He wants to play the same kind of general game plan as Djeeta, right? In the sense, like, these characters are still not going to be like, they're not super mix heavy characters. They want to play that same kind of like whiff punish, walk back, walk forward, footsies game. Like, he has the same game plan as Djeeta, but it is harder for him to succeed at that because his buttons aren't quite as, they don't cover space quite as well as Djeeta's do, right? And again, when he gets the hit, he doesn't get as much reward off it. Yeah, Gran has higher average damage in the corner and in mid-screen too, but like in mid-screen, their damage is not insane anyway, right? Unless they get the corner. And Gran has to basically win a lot more times to get you there, right? Now, is that, and also his U skills are just way worse, right? Like there is no Eureka, there is no U Fireball for Gran. Gran's U Fireball is not bad, right? But it's not quite as belligerent of a meaty as Djeeta's is, right? And obviously U-Boot is Eureka if you shot Eureka twice in the head and then, you know, threw it out back and left it to rot in the sun for a couple days. That shit's punishable on block at some distances, man. Like, it's fine. But like, basically, like, Gran is, which is why I don't think I'm gonna put Gran in A. I don't think he's like, oh my, like, Gran is awful and Djeeta is godlike, right? But like there's a lot of things that they play the same game plan and Djeeta is just better at it in basically every way. Except, in theory, then, when Gran finally gets to the corner, when he finds that hit, which again is going to be harder for Gran because he's worse at that kind of... They have the same walk speed, by the way, right? So it's not like Djeeta is better at maneuvering because she walks faster, but it's more so that, like, her button, like her far M, her 2M, her far H, are, like, better better for this whole walk-back whiff punish strategy than Gran's are, right? So even then, it's harder for him to find that hit, right? And when he finds that hit, then, he gets more damage, sure. But, like, every step of the way until then, Djeeta is better at it, right? So it might seem a little strange to have, like, you know, Gran might be like, he might be somewhere in the middle of the pack here and then Djeeta's top 5. They play the same game plan. Djeeta is better at it almost every way, and her U skills are absurd, and Gran's U skills are okay. Right? It's basically the rundown there. Okay, listen, I've been a hater of this character. I did say I gained more respect for the universal mechanics, right? For this universally, I think the universal offense in this game is not bad. Just like, you know, walk back, shimmy nonsense. I mean, it's kind of it's what a lot of these characters rely on. I don't know, man. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like to talk like, I feel like Katalina is like, she basically, it's like one level, like the same we talk about Gran and Djeeta have a similar game plan, but like Djeeta's just way better at it. I feel like okay, hold on. I'm forgetting something. Katalina did get buffed, and she has her corner carry is a lot better now, which is the main thing, right? It's easier for her to get you to the corner and then start doing that all that funny to you, right? But I don't know. She just like, the girl doesn't have special moves, man. Like, her fireball is good, right? But Enchanted Lance is just so ass, right? Like I don't know. Like, maybe I'm better than Gran. I don't think so. Enchanted Lance just doesn't do anything, and it's 2 of her special slots. You know what I mean? She's better than Gran. Medium thrust is really good. She's better than maybe they're not like a tier apart. She has better average damage than Gran, And she's slower than Gran. Yeah, her buttons are slower. I mean, well, not all of them, but yeah, some of them. I think her walk speed is. I have it pulled up here somewhere. Let me try and find it too. I pulled it up. Oh, there he is. Yeah. I had this is the Evo bracket. Don't mind this. I want to bring up all the character walk speeds as a reference for myself. She is. Yeah. She is like decently like slower than Gran, and Djeeta, she's not terrible, right? Her back walk speed anyway. Her forward walk speed is. Where is she? Katalina? Hello? Am I missing something? Where's Katalina on this list? Oh, there she is. Yeah. So she's slower than Gran and Djeeta, right? I just really hate Enchanted Lands. I don't think maybe they're not a tier apart. Maybe not a tier apart. It's not worse than Large Mart. I don't think she's better. I don't think she's better either. Now to be fair, maybe I haven't seen enough top level Katalina, right? But this character just like, to me it feels like, again, this character by the way kills Ladiva. I think this is a horrible matchup for Ladiva. But like this character just like doesn't do anything as far as I can like I don't know. Like she's very fundamentally sound, right? But like this character is like way too, I don't know, man. Like she just has to walk up on you and like beat you in neutral. She's pretty good at that, right? She's pretty good at that. But like she's I feel like, yeah, honest is like a buzzword, but I feel like she is like, at least Gran can like EX boot and be plus on block in your face, right? Like at least, you know, at least he has JU, right? He has JU to like be an un-2Hable aerial to like get in your face too, something like that, right? Her U Fireball is better than all of Gran's U skills combined. Her U Fireball is, I mean, Gran's U skills aren't good, that's true. Siegfried is super slow, but doesn't matter because his 6XL is really big. I mean, and also he has EX Fireball, right? He can be plus on space thrust. M thrust? Yes, is that right? I've not seen any of the thrusts be like super plus in your face. I think she's plus, but she's like +1, but she's like outside of her own far H range, isn't she? I've tried out Enchanted Lands and I've not been very happy with what I've seen at the very least. But again, maybe like they're not like worlds apart. They're not worlds apart, right? Katalina and Gran are both kind of, I feel like they're similar. If you want to do this, you can do this. If you want to do this, you can do this, right? But they're both like just worse versions of Djeeta at doing what they want to do, I think. And I still am probably of the mind that like I think she's not very good. Like, no, she's not better than Gran at least, right? Let's back up. Oh god, it is. Okay. Well, we'll be back, I guess, second. We'll talk about Charlotta, who I don't think, by spoiler alert, I don't think Charlotta's very good either. I think he's a lot worse than both of these guys, but we'll get back to it. All right, we're back. Katalina. We talk about Katalina again. Like, listen, she got good buttons, and she got her U Fireball's okay, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. Hippo did pretty good, not just okay, right? But still, I don't think her and Gran are similar. Maybe like putting her here, like down here at the beginning, maybe that was a little bit too much. But again, she's not, you know, she's not. The buffs helped her too. Again, she got better corner carry now with her Fireball. We'll take it. Okay, the Gremlin. Listen, man, I don't think this character is very good. I don't like so let's talk about Charlotta. She has a jump, right? Her jump arc is obviously pretty good. She's quite hard to anti-air. I was gonna say it's kind of easier for her to be plus on block, but like her the medium Sword of Lumiel, like the big slashes, that's +1. You can spot dodge that shit and she's minus. Right? This character feels like real bad to me, right? Like Demon Flip is scary sometimes. Charlotte damage is crazy and she has decent ult skips. Her damage is really high for sure. Demon Flip can be weird sometimes because sometimes it's like, you know, your muscle memory forces you to stand up into it. But like again, you just kind of, listen. Okay, I think this character is, really bad. But I don't think this is probably going to be like. This is probably gonna be like, again, if we make it symmetrical, it's gonna be the top 5, so we're gonna be the bottom 5. I don't think she's there. I think she's close. I think she's gonna like slide down and down and down and down the side of A tier here as we go. She just kind of like has a very hard time opening people up, I think. Now, when she hits you, you go straight to hell. Plus frames on demand though? I mean, with EX Sword of Lumiel, I guess, right? But M Sword of Lumiel is not plus frames on demand. You can spot dodge and she's -2, right? I'm an Omega Charlotta hater. She's not very good, in my opinion. I don't think she's bottom 5, but again, she's probably like bottom 7 or something, right? I think so it doesn't matter that much at that point. Like her character is kind of centered around her sharp jump arc and demon flip, right? Like it's kind of those two things. She's very good at jumping at you, very good at obviously her DP is nuts, right? That's one thing. Her DP is like, she has at least the safest I don't know if it's the best, it's probably not the best DP in the game, but it is one of the best DPs in the game because it's -8 on block for some reason, right? It's -8 on block. It's very hard to punish. Most characters can't heavy punish it at all, and some of them are actually gonna have a hard time even like, you know, M punching it, depending, right, on how big your medium buttons are or something, right? So like her DP is real crazy, and her jump arc is good, and Demon Flip can be a nice mix, kind of, with her jump arc, but for the most part, the character just like she kind of just falls back on like the universal mechanics of the video game. That's never a good idea, right? Like the main way Charlotta opens you up is by like shimmying your ass to a close H or something, and if I remember correctly, to do so, yeah, she's not super fast about it either, right? Like she's not very fast at walking forward or walking back, right? She actually has one of the slower backwards walk speeds in the whole game, right? So she's not like super good at doing like the walk back, walk forward nonsense, and it's like kind of the main thing that she has besides jumping at you. Now, of course, again, her jump's good, right? But the character just doesn't not have, like we talked about, okay, a strong, consistent game plan that is hard to stop, right? I don't even know what her strong, consistent game plan is, right? Get you to stand up into Demon Flip, jump at you and get you to 2H and counter at you for it, I guess, right? That's not bad. Is that super consistent or super strong or super hard to stop? Not really, especially when most characters can just DP her out of her jump as like an if you want, like it's lower reward for sure. You can like DP someone out of a jump for like an anti-air for like lower reward but higher reliability, right? I mean, even Ladiva can like 6-2-3L her or something. Now, of course, it's a decent matchup for Ladiva, but the point is, her game plan is kind of just like get you confused, like mix you up between jump and Demon Flip, I guess, right? And then eventually get you to stand into Demon Flip and take the command grab and eat like 8,000 and 10,000 damage for that, but that's not consistent. It can be very, when Charlotta wins rounds, she turns people to dust, right? Because she just like hits you, you take 11 million damage, and then you take 11 million more damage and you die, right? But I mean, this character is, I mean, listen, we're gonna talk about this when we get to Vaseraga too. I think Zerom confuses people, because Zerom is the god of the video game, and he does really well with Charlotta. People are like, oh, if Charlotta's so bad, how is Zerom cooking everyone with Charlotta? It's because he's really good at the goddamn video game, right? Charlotta is not very good, and for the reasons we've outlined. And I think the stream's back on. It is. Okay, we did one character. Her DP is great. Yeah, her DP is very hard to punish. That's true. But like, she doesn't have, like, what is her win condition, right? Her win condition is an unforced error, essentially, right? Her win condition is an unforced error of you standing up into Demon Flip. It feels like, right? And sometimes a slightly forced error if she like really gets you to be scared of jump, right? And then you can be like a little bit more willing conditioned to stand when she goes into the air, right? But it's, I don't know, man. I don't really have a lot of respect for the little potato, unfortunately. I think he could use a lot of help. All right, Potato. We talked about Potato. Let's talk about Percival. Listen, Percival got buffed. Percival did get some nice buffs. I think as people got their hands on Percival a little bit more and played with him a little bit more, we realized that like a lot of the buffs weren't like that good, actually, right? Like, for example, like obviously everyone was focusing on like the gun they gave him, like the 9,000 damage off of the Traumarai there, you know, but overall, he definitely still got a little better. And in a way, we don't think Lance is top tier. Again, it's one of, listen, nothing. It's one of those things where like if you want to say that Lance is here, if you want to say that Lance is here, that doesn't matter that much, right? Like, oh, like suddenly Lance is like balanced and fair and doesn't need nerfs, and suddenly he's like broken and needs like 7 nerfs. It's fine. I think he does have a couple more, maybe like a couple more, like a little bit more of some gaps in what he wants to do. But like, if you want to put him here, if you want to put him here, if you want to put him here, all of these characters are still very strong and still need to be touched, right? I don't think I'm gonna. I care about it too much. Yeah, Percy got better. I don't think Percy is. I don't think it was. I think he needs more help personally, right? I don't think he's like fighting for worst character in the game anymore. Or so yeah, Flame Carpet is definitely still crazy, right? Flame Carpet is great. The buffs made some of his conversions a little bit more consistent, right? He can get a little bit more off of like, you know, what was it? They made Far L into the little the low Lord Strike or something, combo more consistently, right? Or a combo at all, right? Percy's better than Gran? I don't know about all that. I mean, Flame Carpet is a pretty funny move for sure. I am starting to wonder if these two are both too high, actually, now that I'm looking at it. We'll see as we go on further here. Percy, yeah, like I might agree that Percy's Grand tier, but I'm starting to wonder if Grand tier is up here or if it's actually down here. Not like as I'm kind of like I am kind of looking like, you know, like those fellows are awfully close to these guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, is Gran really like it really, like, yes, obviously there are lots of things that do make Djeeta like just objectively better, or not like in a lot of ways better than Gran, but like, is it this big of a difference? Maybe, I guess, maybe, right? Like, they do play like everything they want to do for their gameplay, and Djeeta does just do better, I suppose. But yeah, again, Percival, kind of similar, right? He's got some nice buttons. He's got some nice buttons. He's got like his, but at the same time, like his far H, for example, is really big, very strong, right? But it is also quite easy to whiff punish if he misses it. Flame Carpet's pretty funny. He's got a meterless DP, which always helps, right? I mean, he's like Rekka, right? The whole like the little dash there. You can kind of, I mean, you can, in theory, you can just kind of fuzzy mash whether he's going to do the overhead or not, or like an empty dash, something. But, you know, it can still be difficult. Yeah, I mean, having a command grab is definitely nice. Just having a command grab is definitely not so bad. Especially the corner carry diff actually makes Djeeta that much better. I mean, it's that and the use skills, right? And also just like better buttons for their game plan, for what they want to do, right? Like it's not just corner carry, but yes, corner carry is definitely a big part of it. Yeah, I guess. Again, kind of similar, like very similar-ish to Cat. I think I probably do want to do this. Because like similar-ish to Katalina. They both don't really. They both don't really have the same kind. They both have like a way to like just completely for free cheat in on you, right? But you Flame Carpet gives Percival some kind of inevitability, I think, that that Cat doesn't really have. Doesn't Command Grab only work in the corner? Yeah, but I mean, still, you know, it's still like something. It's still scary when if you're low on health against Percival in the corner, you're in a 50-50. It helps him close out rounds. Also, again, Flame Carpet does that too. Percy has like some amount of, if you can't really fight him that well, he has some amount of like inevitability, I feel like, right? To just like if he's gonna kill you if you sit in the corner for long enough. So it kind of forces you to start trying to do something, and he's quite good at like killing you for that, right? So I mean, you know, as I'm talking about it, I'm like, I feel like Percival is better than both of these characters, huh? Also on stream right now. Okay, we'll head back. Yeah, but as I'm talking, I kind of talked myself into like, I'm saying a lot of nice stuff about Percy. I can't think about that much not nice stuff to say. He's like, again, he can't like, he doesn't have, you know, he doesn't have any like total like neutral skip nonsense or something, but like maybe he is up here. Maybe he is better than both of these guys. As I'm talking, I'm kind of like talking myself to Percival is probably, maybe he is better than Gran and Cat. I can see that. I'll do that for now. We'll come back when we're gonna go back to watching Evo goes back up. But I think I'm gonna do that for now. He's pretty solid, I think. Again, the buffs made his convergence a lot more consistent, right? Anyway, let's go. All right, Zane's controller exploded or he needs to go piss or something, so we're back. Oh, Ladiva. Okay, we're right on Ladiva, huh? Okay, listen. Here's the thing. Ladiva is not very good, but I will say, as I played more Ladiva, there are certain things I think that she's actually, like certain strengths that she has that are actually pretty good, huh? I think one of the main thing is her jump. So JM is a war crime button. I think is genuinely one of the best jumping buttons in the game, right? And the main thing is her ability to turn a safe on block situation, which a lot of characters abuse, right, into a 50-50 if you're in SPD range, right? A lot of characters, like for example, the new nerfed Beatrix riding free, right? She's -4 on block or something, safe, right? But outside of throw range. When you're fighting Ladiva, something that you're again gonna get SPD'd or far end, so you're not really safe on block at all. Now, with all that being said, those are some good strengths. Obviously, just very high damage, right? Some of the best corner carry in the whole game, right? But we're back, okay. Yes, intermediate level Ladiva is very powerful. But the thing is, right? Ladiva has the worst neutral in the whole game, probably. Not even really that close, right? And we talk about consistent and strong game plans, right? By her very nature, Ladiva's game plan is not consistent, right? Ladiva's, even in her win condition, when she has you down, you know, she just got SPD, she has you in the corner, if you guess command grab, she takes a lot of damage for that, right? She takes a lot of risk onto herself for even running her game plan, right? So, she's not very good. Now, I think last time we had her as like the top of, next game's about to start, we'll get back in a second here, yeah. I think last time, for the last years, we had her as sort of like the top of B tier, right? Like the fifth worst character in the game or something. I think I'm gonna do that again, and we'll see. I might, as we find more people, I might be like, oh, actually maybe she's like the bottom of A or something, but Ladiva's not very good. But I have like the buffs, you know, the 2H routes helped her a little bit, right? And I mean a lot actually. It helped her corner carry in a lot of cases, so that definitely was a meaningful buff, right? Far L's a little bit better. And she, again, as I played her more, she has a couple of strengths I hadn't really thought about, right? So she might end up a little bit higher on here. She might end up being like, you know, here, like right here with Charlotta. But the point is still, Ladiva's not very good. We'll talk about, I mean, I guess we talk about whether I want to see her buffed in a second. But yeah, we're gonna go back to watch some Evo. YouTube, listen, don't worry about it. It'll all get cut out in the middle. You don't have to worry about any of these pauses, hopefully. Yeah, but the point is, Ladiva is essentially, I think she has some more strengths, but I still don't think she's that good, right? Her 6XL is also still pretty ass. Like over her defense is pretty bad. Her neutral is pretty bad, right? She's still very weak to BC. Like we talk about, like one of the things that makes a character good is having a good way to deal with the universal mechanics, right? Ladiva is really bad at dealing with BC, really bad at dealing with meterless DPs, right? So, okay, Metera. Metera got buffed in the Vane patch. They made her far L a little bit easier to convert off of, things like that, right? Listen, man, this game does not like zoners very much. This game does not like zoners very much. It is just kind of, I will say, now here's the thing. 6XL, a lot of them, not all of them, well, all of them universally got 5 more frames of recovery on them, right? That's a big deal. And most of them got their ranges nerfed, right? I don't think his did for some reason. I think a couple of them got away for sure. But most 6XLs got their range nerfed too. Like that is a buff to zoning in this game for sure, right? Assuming it's before the update, yeah, we don't know what is in the update right now. It's a pre-patch basically. It's like kind of seeing how the state of the game before the update and seeing how it might change, and how the Vane patch, how that changed. Right? We're going to compare and contrast with the last tier list at the end of this too. But yeah, Metera is I don't know, like she's not good. I don't know if she's gonna be like bottom of here or top. I'm gonna put her here for now, because honestly we can do a very similar thing for Ferry too, right? It's because like again these like it's just tough to be a zoner here, man. 6L can be stopped with lows, but I got a big though because her fire's low. I mean, yeah, sure, but like kind of inherent. Like again, she still has a very tough time just like existing in the game. Why is Charlotta under Gran? Charlotta, I think, is pure ass nothing. I do not like Charlotta very much at all. I don't think Gran is amazing either, but I think Charlotta doesn't do anything, in my opinion. Ferry Farrell still clashes against the 6Ls. I guess, yeah, if you want to use that to put Metera above Ferry, sure. I mean, obviously Ferry is like, again, Ferry is one of the characters in the game with like true 50-50 mix, right? Like Gigi is a real 50-50 sometimes, right? So that's a big deal, right? But obviously both of them have, I mean, their anti-airs are pretty bad, right? Obviously they have 15,000 health. The only other characters in the game with 15,000 health besides Nier. Nier makes up for it in a lot of different ways. Obviously, even though 6XL got nerfed, U skills and neutral skips and things like this are just generally still, they just abound in this game, right? These characters, Brave counter is very important for them, right? But it also means that they tend to run out of Brave points very fast, because it's kind of like their only way to defend themselves. And then, at that point, their like lower HP becomes, and their lack of defense becomes even worse, right? Again, I mean, all 3 of these characters, for example, don't have a 5-frame close L, or like they have a 6-frame light. They don't have a 5-frame light at all, right? That's a big problem. Basically, these are the opposite characters, right? Like all the strengths Ladiva has are not the strength these guys have, and all this. But in general, just like we talk about consistency again, right? Consistency being a thing that makes a character really good. These characters can very easily, like Ferry is never in the lead ever, right? Ferry can have a 90% to 20% HP lead on someone and still lose very easily, right? You have to be constantly. You can never relax playing these characters, right? It's very tough. It's very tough. So I don't think they're very good. Now again, we might move them around, like exactly who's going to be like. I think I want to keep this as for symmetry purposes. I want to keep this as like, this is the bottom 5, this is top 5, just because I think it looks nicer, basically. So like maybe these guys aren't going to end up being here, but I think they probably will. On the other hand, a kind of zoner who I think is actually pretty damn good at it, right? I think Lowain is like real strong. I think Lowain's real good. Like actually, I'm a big fan of this Lowain. I think Lowain's actually like, they kind of like accidentally made the joke character pretty damn good, huh? And he's got a lot of nice, genuinely got a lot of nice mix with like the little flutter kicks there are all overhead, so you have to block them all high. The low bro is a low, right? When he calls out the boys, he can do a lot of like a delayed hitbox like that, where he calls out the 2 fellas, is a great way for him to run up and like threaten some like potential early throw mix or something, right? Catabot's a pretty nice move overall, like all the versions of it, even not to the heavy version with the rockets is obviously quite good. But even like the laser and even those little punches and things is all very good. Lowain actually kind of the opposite of Ferry. Why I say Lowain can never really Ferry can never really be super ahead. Lowain can, if he can get distance, Lowain can heal his entire fucking health bar if he wants, right? He has a lot of bad matchups that shut down his game plan. Yeah, like if Lowain can't just sit there and eat, basically, he's gonna have a hard time, right? And definitely, like again, with the state of neutral skips in this game, that can be a problem for him. But he has a lot of good ways to keep people out, and I mean his supers are like gimmicks. Dive on stream. We'll get back to it in a second here. Yeah, his supers are gimmicks, right? In the sense that yes, they're like 100% answers to them a lot of the time, right? But Human Pyramid and the Iggy, the MILF install, right? Like they are just a bunch of reaction checks in a row a lot of the times. Basically, it's pretty easy to mess up against them, right? Even a lot of times you can get like guaranteed corner carry or chip damage or something. He's pretty damn solid, man. He's actually pretty good at keeping people away from him too. He's got his parry he has the worst meterless reversal in the game, right? But he has a meterless reversal, which is something that Metera and Ferry can't speak of. For example, he has 16,000 health, right? He has actually a pretty nice mix where like his U reversal is a DP. He does a lot of chip too. His U reversal is a DP, so it beats safe jumps. His H reversal is a parry, so it beats throw, and his H reversal is a parry, so it beats safe jumps. Right? It's not bad. His defense actually isn't horrible. He's got a 5-frame light. He's a much better version of Metera and Ferry, in my opinion. All right, we talk about the Lowain, right? Lowain's pretty good. Zeta is pretty damn good in this video game. I don't know exactly where she's gonna end up in this tier. She's gonna be somewhere here though. Zeta is pretty strong, right? She's got decent, she got like fine buttons. I don't think her buttons are bad, right? Her pogo mix, everyone keeps wanting to tell me the pogo mix is fake, and every day I discover more and more and more how unfake the pogo mix is. She has like a real fuzzy off of a save if she gets a hard knockdown, right? She can do like an instant overhead low thing, kind of like how Ferry can do with GG, except you can do it without GG, right? Her parry's pretty good. Right? She can combo off of her DP in certain cases. The H parry she can hold combo off of in the corner with a counter hit, right? But the medium one she can combo off of all the time. Of course, that's only frame 3, so it's not like as good as like obviously like it's not anywhere near as good as like Nier's pre-patch DP or something, but it's still a good thing for her to have. It's not fake, so I made up by haters. I know, I believed it for a second, and then like every good Zeta I fought told me very very quickly, like they very quickly showed me that shit was very real. And obviously then that's all of this I've been mentioning her ult skills, right? Zeta is pretty good. She's pretty damn good. The medium parry also I think loses to lows is another thing, right? Is that Zeta mains? I got a couple. Is that right? The medium parry is the one that doesn't block lows, right? The frame 3 one she can combo off of also loses to lows, I think, if I remember correctly. Regardless, the point is Zeta is very good, right? She's quite strong. Her ultimate skills, actually, I think the more I play against Zeta, her ult skills are very good, right? But the more I'm like, yes, light lose to lows. Oh, okay, gotcha. Medium is only lows. Oh, interesting. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, anyway, the more I play against Zeta, the more I'm like, her ult skills are obviously very, very good. And again, when Zeta has 75 meter, you basically have to like you have to really respect her. Outside of like if you have a specific like anti counterplay to her ult skills on reaction, sure. But like she's a lot more than just her ult skills. I think they could nerf her ult skills, and this will be a pretty damn good character, right? Again, her like very, very scary. But it's honestly a pretty nice character overall, right? She doesn't have. I would say like why isn't she like up here, right? With all of these folks. I mean, I can't put it into words right now. It feels more interactive fighting Zeta, and I can't figure out why. You know what I mean? I can't figure out why, but I feel like I can play the video game against this character a little bit more. I guess she's not super like her buttons are good, because her game plan requires her basically she has to get you knocked down in the corner, and then she's really scary, right? Her buttons are good. She's not turbo oppressive and neutral, right? And like the way in mid screen, she's not the scariest character in the world. I guess it's probably like that's probably what I can't put into words here. Is like when she gets you in the corner, things go really badly, right? But there's even Ladiva, I feel like can interact with this character in the mid screen, right? It's like she really isn't. She's not that dominant. It's hard for her to get to her offense, right? To get to her win condition. When she gets there, her win condition is absurd, right? But I think it's not super easy for her to get to that win condition in the first place. It's probably what's happening here. Vaseraga. Vaseraga was before he got some pretty nice buffs. I think Vaseraga was in contention for like, I don't think he was the worst character in the game. I think it was being talked about. Vaseraga is still quite bad. I think again, just like Zerom, I think Fuselit and some other Vaseragas confuse people into thinking that this character is like good. Vaseraga is a build-up character in a game where rounds can very easily last 20 seconds, right? At round start, Vaseraga, he has good big normals, I guess. Like literally round start distance, it's not awful. I'm saying like Zerom with Charlotta, Fuselit has confused people into thinking that Vas is good, is what I meant. But at round starts, Vaseraga is like not a character. No Soul Forge, no meter of Vaseraga is the worst character in the game, right? If Vas doesn't have Soul Forge, doesn't have 50 meter, Vas doesn't exist. But as he ramps up, Soul Forge, if he gets Soul Forge, it's a big deal. Suddenly he has a very good way to deal with Brave counter when Soul Forge happens, right? Obviously, you tackle is a pretty good reversal. It's not a real reversal because it's only frame 5, but you have to respect it a lot. You have to structure your pressure around it. He has maybe the worst DP in the whole game, tied to Ladiva. His UDP is just pure garbage, like his command grab. It is the only DP that is like safe jabbable, not even off of a knockdown. It's reactable, right? You jump it and he dies for it really easily. He's big and slow. Okay, so something else. He has a 6-frame light. But it's not just he has 6-frame lights. He doesn't have a 6-frame close L. He has 6-frame 2L. This means Vaseraga can basically never, ever mash on even on-block situations. Because close 2Ls, if you don't know, lose to every other button in the video game. They lose to close Ls, far Ls, 6Ls, everything. They have a lower attack level, right? For example, the example I can tell you right now is Ladiva. 2 headbutts from Ladiva. If she mashes far L or close L on Vas 2Ls, he gets crushed and gets counter hit and dies, even though he was even on block and matched the 6-frame button to her 6-frame button, right? Vas's defense outside of U-Tackle is the worst in the game by a lot, right? But again, when he ramps up, when he gets Soul Forge going, if he has meter, he gets better. But I don't know, man. I still really don't everyone keeps running. A bunch of people keep telling me like, oh, I don't think he's that bad. I don't really, still don't see it. He can be really scary, of course, but even okay. Let me tell you this way. Even Fuselet, right? Fuselet is a very like he's one of the best Vaseragas in the whole world. Probably the best one in North America, right? When I watch him play people, I'm not like, oh my god, this Vaseraga guy. The thing that makes it so impressive, he hard reads people, right? Like I feel like it's all hard reads and outplays, and that's not a good character, man. You do not have to hard read and outplay people to pressure them with Belial, with Seox, with Siegfried, with Nier. He's the scariest character in the corner. I don't even know if that's true, right? But yes, even still, like, he's quite scary in the corner. But he can't access his win condition very easily at all, right? So I still think his win condition is strong. So this way we get into multiple fast stuff, right? Voss's win condition is strong, right? Voss with armor, with meter, in the corner is scary, right? But that is so many hoops to jump through, and it is so uncommon. It is not easy for him to get there, and it's not consistent for him to get there, and it's very easy for you to not let Voss get there, right? So that is why I think Vaseraga, even though his win condition, it's kind of like Ladiva. Ladiva's win condition is strong, but it is not easy for her to get there, and it's pretty easy to stop her from getting there, right? So I'm going to say that Vaseraga is probably still, even with the buffs, maybe he's here. Maybe he's a little better than these characters. I don't know. Maybe he's a little better than these characters. I'm gonna see who I end up putting here. But he's either here or like the bottom of here, right? It's not really that big of a difference. Vaseraga is not very good. That's about it, right? I expect him to get. Oh, I don't know if I expect him to get buffed again. It's one of those things. Voss and Ladiva both are two characters I think that are they overperform like heavily if you are not like in some of the higher tiers of play, right? So maybe they won't get buffed too much, but anyway, don't worry about it too much. Is Yuel back? Yuel's not. Oh, it's a nice long break. Perfect. Let's talk about Narmaya. Yo, face roll. Thanks for the prime, man. Much appreciated. Giving me some of those Bezos bucks. I appreciate it. He's bottom A tier or top B tier. Yeah, exactly. Boss actually isn't good in low tier play. I guess yeah, because he's a little bit more difficult to play than like Ladiva. If you're a low tier player, you probably can't make the most of his strengths either, huh? It depends. I guess yeah. If you are somehow a Voss character specialist but are stuck in like A rank, then I guess yeah, fair enough. Otherwise, it's gonna be pretty tough for you. Maybe you could get buffs then. Maybe you could get buffs. Anyway, Narmaya. Narmaya is interesting, right? Narmaya is. I kind of feel like Narmaya is super strong. Narmaya is good. I don't know if Narmaya is super strong. So I think last time. Narmaya is good. So the thing about Narmaya, right, is Narmaya is one of the. So you want to talk about scariest characters in the corner, right? Narmaya is one of the characters in the game that is like. We talk about having a good way to deal with universal defensive mechanics, right? She has some really nice anti-air baits and brave counter baits, pretty much mostly in the form of U-flip, right? TK flip is really scary to delay tech against in a lot of cases, right? Delay tech is one of the strongest things you can do defensively in this game in general. And like there's universal answers to it. You can shimmy, obviously, if people are teching with throw. You can walk up close H, sure. But like Narmaya's TK EX flip is really, really good. And it makes it very scary to defend against her in general, right? You don't have to like, I wouldn't go so far to say you have to reaction tech throws against Narmaya, right? But it's close. Like it's quite hard to delay tech against Narmaya, I think. Her mid-screen is pretty ass, right? Her mid-screen's pretty ass. Her mid-screen damage is pretty horrible. Her corner carry is not amazing. Definitely outside of like using them as an anti-air bait or a throw or a 2H bait or a throw bait or something, right? Narmaya's U-flip is not a wonderful ultimate skill, but I think basically it's not that. And so, okay, obviously, in Kagura, actually, in Kagura, she has some pretty nice buttons, too, right? In Kagura, her buttons get bigger, her buttons get nicer, and she gets a plus on block 2M. Again, gotta point it out when it happens, because that is something that is not very common. That's pretty nice about Narmaya. She has a +1 on block 2M in Kagura there, right? Her parry is pretty ass. She basically does not have a meterless reversal outside, in Kagura at least. In Genji, so sword sheathed, like the defensive stance, she does. But in Kagura, her HDP loses to lows. So she basically only gets a real reversal if she spends 50 meter. But it's fine. Because having so many access to so many different specials, right? 2 different modes, very good damage in the corner, right? Pretty good pressure in the corner. Her mid screen's not great. TK flip in general is just crazy. That's right. Yeah, very easy access to plus frames, right? Again, she's kind of similar in the sense of like her win condition is like most. It's not gonna be uncommon, by the way. Most characters want you in the corner, outside of like Metera or something. Even then, but like it's more so. I think it's a little hard for Narm to play neutral a little bit, right? A little bit hard for her to like win those interactions and get you to the corner a little bit, especially against some of the characters like bigger. If you're fighting like you know, you're fighting like some of the real demons, right? It's gonna be hard for Narmaya to win those interactions and push them to the corner, right? But if she gets there, she's again, I think actually one of the like for real one of the scariest characters in the game, in my opinion. Lowain's too high. I disagree. I think Lowain's pretty damn good, man. I don't think so. Lowain isn't real in 9% of matchups. I've not seen this, but I think he's honestly pretty decent. I'm gonna put Narmaya. I think Narmaya's kind of weird, right? I feel like Narmaya fights, like, characters that are better than Narmaya send her to hell, which is a problem, right? I think Narmaya does not fight, like, really good characters that well, right? I'm gonna vaguely put her, like, here. I've liked Narmaya more as I fought more of, you know, as I fought K-Tang more of, I think this is like a whole tier higher than I had her last time, I think, right? I think last time we had her a little bit lower down. As I fought more of K-Tang, as I fought more of Sprites, as I fought more of these really good Narmayas, I'm like, oh, like, she's actually, like, she's got some nuts, right? This character I think is pretty good. Narmaya's actually, again, still though, in like that sort of range where I'm like, I think Narmaya is, if every character in the game was as good as Narmaya was, I think I'd be pretty happy, you know? Maybe there's some things about her a little bit jank, but her overall power level feels like pretty fucking spot on, no? Like, I don't think Narmaya needs to be nerfed. I don't think Narmaya needs to be buffed. I'm actually pretty happy with Narmaya as a character, right? I fucking hate her jumping. I mean, listen, Ferry mains will be Ferry mains. Yeah, her mid-screen is real bad. To be fair, though, if Narmaya had, like, good neutral and good mid-screen, she would be, like, broken, right? Anyway. We have a little bit more time here, right? We can talk about Soriz. Yeah, okay. Soriz is interesting. Soriz is actually the opposite. So I think I've actually gotten a little bit lower on Soriz as I've played him, as I actually got to know him and played him a little bit more. I think he's still good. Her ultimate neutral skip is wild. Narmaya, not really. I mean, you flip in neutral is just punishable straight up on reaction, right? And you transient is a little bit harder, but same thing. Or at least it's minus, right? You flip is more of a, if you're talking about transient, then I guess, kind of, but that's also mostly just a reaction check. But yeah, Soriz he's interesting, right? Soriz has, I think, some of the best, just like regular on-block pressure in the video game, right? Soriz is one of the he's one of the scariest characters that's like outside of just any sort of mix, anything like that. Soriz can just force you to block and keep you blocking and steal turns for a really long time. He's also, he can chip people really hard. The character does pretty good damage. He gets, funny enough, something that's not talked about enough, Soriz is like one of the characters that I associate with anti-airing in this game, right? People talk about like don't jump at Vane, bro. Do not jump at Soriz. I have seen I'm not even that good at Soriz, but I've done it before. I've seen other Soriz do it too. Soriz gets like 7,000-8,000 damage off of anti-airing you like pretty consistently, right? The character hits like a fucking truck. He has 17,000 health, which again is not a little thing. People downplay health differences. I think it's one of the worst things about Nier is her having 15k, right? Why do you jump at Soriz? I'm not saying he forces you to. I'm just saying it's one of the things about him, right? He has good block pressure. He has very good ways. The one thing, right? Soriz corner carry is corner to corner almost. The one thing is Soriz is kind of like by design almost he's not very good against Brave counter, right? It's kind of like a lot of people who are like going to be plus on block off of very long special move animations, right? Are not going to be that strong against Brave counters and reversals, things like that, right? But I feel like he's still pretty damn good. His defense is not bad, honestly, because Soriz enough about manual baits as well, yeah. But again, he can stay plus for so goddamn long. That's not that bad, right? Oh, Yozo, thanks for the follow, man. Much appreciated. His defense is actually not horrible, by the way, because he has no meterless DP, of course, right? But 2L is actually really damn good against shimmies, right? His 2L is actually a really nice button. It's a big pretty big 6-frame light, and it's a low, right? Soriz is actually pretty good at calling out people shimmying on him, right? Overall, yeah, his DP gets him a side swap. Most UDPs get him get you a safe jump or a side swap, to be fair, though. That's not that uncommon, right? I like Soriz. I think he's good. I think he's not as good as I thought he was before I played him, but I think he's still somewhere in like this I think Soriz is still pretty damn good, right? I think I used to have him somewhere over here. I think we had him somewhere over here in the last tier list. I think I've soured on him a little bit. Crow Neko, thanks. Hello. But I think he's still really good. I don't think Soriz is bad by any stretch of the imagination, right? I think it's silly to say so. I mean, obviously, dash punch is still a very good move, right? Again, yeah, and also one of the characters that can like truly, oftentimes, be like you see your opponent like 25 or 30% health, and you go, oh, this is a chip kill, right? Soriz can like use chip damage to his advantage more than almost anyone in the game who isn't like Nier or maybe Siegfried or Belial or something, right? So I'm gonna say he's pretty damn good. Below Percy? I mean, if you want to do this, that doesn't matter. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, right? I think Soriz is pretty strong though. I don't think he's top tier as much, but I think he's pretty damn good. Percy has better mid-screen. Yeah, probably. Okay, Zooey. Actually, is Evo back? Evo's back. Okay. We'll be back, then we'll talk about Zooey in a second here. All right, Zooey. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Zooey is an interesting character because I don't know. Nobody plays this goddamn character. Okay, I don't know. I will admit Zoe's a character that I don't know a ton about, mostly because I just don't fight Zooey very often. My general impression of Zooey is that she's okay. Zoe's AIMO? Yeah, I would say that too. Zooey, she seems fine, you know? Zooey seems fine. She's got like her, the dragon stuff. She can have some pretty scary block pressure in the corner with like, the delayed hits from the lightning, letting her combo off for overhead, putting in a bit of a mixed situation, things like that, right? The dragon can be okay, like the laser can be hard to deal with for some characters. All the different dragon zoning stuff. You're trying like some of the slower characters, something like that. She's got some okay normals. The far L buff's actually pretty good for her in the Vane patch, right? Because it let her 6XL into far L combo a lot more often, right? She does some pretty damn good damage. She has some decent corner carry. Spinning slash is a pretty nice way to just like steal shit back sometimes, right? She's solid. She's solid. Right, I don't really think I don't really think she's going to. I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's amazing. Yeah, I guess when I say that, right, I'm talking. Do I want to put her in the same tier as Charlotta and Vaseraga and Gran and Katalina? Not really, no. I was gonna put her, but yeah, fine. I kind of talked myself into it. I was gonna put her here, but I was like, she's like fine actually. She's not that bad. She's very solid, I think. We'll put her here. All right, Cagliostro. Listen here. This little gremlin did not show up to court on the day of the patch notes, right? Her name, like Belial didn't get nerfed either. He got like a bug fix that technically like buffed him, right? But his name was in the patch notes at least. Her name wasn't even there. They didn't even bother to do anything with her. Cag's pretty good, I think. Cag's not. Cag is somewhere here, right? Let's just get out of the way. Cag is somewhere up here, I think. So she's not a zoner, right? She can zone a little bit. She can zone the slower characters, like characters with worse neutral, right? But Cag is not a zoner. Cag is a set play grappler character with really high damage combos too, right? Like Cag is basically what Ladiva wants to be, right? Cag is basically the only character in the game. You can technically in some ways, right? But a lot of the times, if you delay tech against Cagliostro, you just die, right? This character, but this character can also combo off overthrow, right? Now here's the thing. Cag, in theory, you just don't let Cag get set up. Just don't let Cag get set up. Right? That's a little bit easier said than done sometimes. I already know Brick is delusional and wrong, but don't worry about it, though. We can disagree. This Cag character is pretty damn good to me. And by the way, it's not like, again, you're like, oh, well, you play Ladiva, dog. Of course you think Cag's good. I think Katalina beats the shit out of Ladiva, and I think Catalina's really bad, right? Next sets up? Okay. But yeah, Cagliostro, I think her zoning tools exist. The people will say like, oh, she's not a good zoner. I kind of agree. I don't think Cag is that good of a zoner, but like, you don't really have to, right? Cag's actually pretty scary. Like Cag can just she's got some very nice buttons to win the neutral with. Cag is designed to zone. If she is, it's not how she ends up doing. What she ends up doing most of the time. It's not what ends up being strong about her, right? Right. She got some nice buttons to push into the corner. And then her corner pressure is actually quite scary, right? Just because of far H, because of her general her throw baits, things like this, right? Because of how she can combo off her throws, because of the damage she can do. She's a very high damage character, right? So I think, and then on top of that, she can zone, like a little, she can, she's not as good of a zoner as like Metera or something, but on top of all of this, she can also zone, right? So I think she's pretty damn good. We gotta get back to Evo though. We gotta get back to Evo, so let's go do that. Yuel? Yeah, we're on Yuel, that's right. Okay, so here's the thing, right? This here Yuel lady. She also, kind of like Soriz, has some really, really scary on-block pressure, right? I also recently learned she has a pretty nasty spacing trap out of the light Fox Flame right there, right? I have definitely gotten a little bit higher on Yuel than I did when I first made this, right? Yuel B tier? Yuel's not great, but I think so. I don't think. Well, actually, I guess no. I guess I haven't, huh? I think last time I had her like somewhere in this range. I think I'm gonna put her somewhere there again. Actually, I don't think she's in the same conversation as like the Vanes and the Ferries of the world, but I think she's still not super great, right? I'd say A+ is pretty fair. I don't know that I think quite so highly of her, right? I don't think Yuel's bottom tier. She's not great yet. Like, I think the problem is, I think Yuel really relies on you mashing on her, right? And I think if you don't mash on her, I think it's very hard for, like, she relies on you making that error, essentially, right? Where do you rate Gucci Blunt Wrap? It's not a Japanese player tier list. Japanese player tier lists, they just rate players. I'm trying to rate the characters. Gucci's pretty damn good. Doesn't mean that Yuel's good, right? Probably said about Charlotta. I think, yeah, exactly. Yeah, things about Charlotta, like, I that's what I said last time we had this tier list too. I had the similar kind of idea, right? I think Yuel kind of has a hard time. I don't want to say doing anything, because that sounds so mean, right? But, like, you can just kind of block this lady, because her throw is reactable in her stance, right? So she doesn't even have, like, the traditional, like, kind of strike throw pressure. And as long as you just don't mash on shit, it's not the worst in the world. Now, she has the backflip's pretty crazy. She has a nice mirrorless reversal. She has a nice 2H, right? It's got some pretty good mid-screen. It's got some pretty nice damage, right? Like, I get it. But she actually does feel, she feels very similar to Charlotta to me, actually, the more I talk about it, right? She can fake out throw with dash up into 5H. Sure. 2 mirrorless reversals? Yeah, but I mean, the backflip has a lot more counterplay than her actual DP, right? I agree. She can fake out throw with dash up into 5H, for real, yes. But she has to fake out throw where people, most people just, like, walk up and throw you, and it's unreactable, you know? Top of A, I can see that. I like that. I think I've gotten a little more higher on Yuel as I've learned about some, like, she has some nasty little tricks in her pressure that I didn't know about last time I made a list like this, right? Again, like that L Fox Flame spacing trap, for example, I think is quite nasty, right? So I think it's gonna move up like a few spots in my opinion, but she didn't really get buffed very much, right? And I think she's fine. Her use skills, yeah, her use skills are okay. Yeah, I think Yuel's fine. Uno's weird. Uno, like, so nobody plays this goddamn character, right? But again, I actually don't. I think Uno's pretty damn nice, man. I think Uno's actually kind of nice with it, right? I think he's Uno's A+, he's super solid. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, yeah. I think Uno is very solid. It's a great way to describe him, right? Uno can do just about everything in the game okay, right? He can zone pretty damn well. Yeah, who, yeah, the reality is Uno goes in who, for sure. Because Uno, nobody plays this guy, right? But yeah, the best zoner in the game? That sounds right. Most of the zoners are pure ass. So, like, saying he's the best zoner in the game sounds like, oh my god, well, Uno's so good. It's just that most zoners in this game are pure ass, right? So, like, I think he's very versatile, right? He's got some pretty nice pressure. He's got a very good throw bait and his jumping EX dive kick. It leads to a lot of damage on hit. It's plus on block. He has very easy access to plus frames, right? He's quite good at zoning. He's got some pretty decent normals. His one downfall mostly is that he's very slow. Just everything about him, right? His normals are slow. His movement is slow, right? He's just kind of slow. And there's some weirdness with his parry. His parry currently, like, it doesn't beat safe jumps in the way that it probably should normally, right? But overall, I think he's very solid. I think he's pretty good at doing what he needs to do. But nobody loves, yeah, the other downfall is that nobody thinks this guy's interesting at all, and nobody wants to play Uno. So Uno, you know, he's not as representative as he should be. Okay, is Evo back? It is back. Okay. We'll talk about Eustace in a second. Eustace is gonna take some time because Eustace is still, to this day, the character I know the least about in Gran Blue, even though I did a little bit of labbing against him. But we'll talk about him when we get back right here. All right, we're back. So Eustace, I just gotta give it up. I don't know. This character is the blind spot for me in this video game. Now, I will say, I think Eustace he doesn't seem great to me. But again, this is more than any other character on this list. I am very willing to accept that my placement of Eustace is going to be straight up just, like, probably objectively wrong here. Because I just don't know enough about this guy. He's kind of like Uno. In the sense that they're kind of like, you know, he can zone, he can rush down, he can kind of play neutral, right? But I feel like he's a little bit worse at all of those things outside of, again, he's a little bit less consistent at all those things. And then sometimes he gets a knockdown into U-Grenade and you go to hell, right? Yeah, like his U-Grenade is some of the scariest mix in the game. That's it, right? Period. But, like, he has to get that knockdown in the corner to set that up. And I feel like that is not super easy for him to get to. I'm not gonna talk too much about Eustace because I will admit I cannot speak super intelligently on Eustace, right? What I'm gonna say is my gut from playing against him a little bit and labbing him a little bit is that he's basically a little bit worse than Anre, in my opinion, right? Like, he's like a slightly worse version of Uno. Now, I don't know, does that make him like here? Does that make him here? I don't know. My gut still tells me he's not very good, so I'm gonna put him like here. Maybe that's downplay, maybe he should be here. Maybe he's broken, maybe he should be here. Maybe he should be bottom 5. I don't know. From what I understand of Eustace, there's not that much. I think I want to put him there. Okay, Vira solid. I have strong opinions that he's Narmaya level. Maybe, you might be right. Again, forgiven, I will not argue with you too much, but my opinion is based off of not a ton of experience that he's probably somewhere around there. Vira is, I think you said A+ just so many reps in NA. That could be possible. Again, I'm very open to admitting this might be wrong, but this is my current opinion. I'm gonna keep him here. Vira's great, but she's not in the right game. Vira's not... Vira's not bad. Vira's good, I think. Vira's strong. Right, she's got... I don't think my opinion on Vira has changed too much from when I first made the list. Maybe maybe I like her a little bit less than I used to, but like, you know, she's got some decent, what, just general level 1 flowchart mix, right? In terms of this, like, you know, the pressure into the Rekka or Scarlet Oath or command grab or whatever, right? She has some decent ways to some decent ways to just like condition you to stand still and then punish you for standing still, right? In install, her mid screen is pretty scary. Outside of install, it's not really. Her install as a super is actually pretty nice reversal too. It's relatively difficult to punish. It's -8 sometimes, something like that. Yeah, I mean, her medium DP being safe unless you spot dodge it in install is pretty nice too. It also more so means she has a medium DP that is like pretty reliable. She doesn't have to spend a cooldown on her DP basically once you install, right? She's got some really nasty mix. She's got some very nasty, or it's not mix, like setups actually. Sorry, not mix, like setups where like there's lots of Raging Strike, like checkmate setups with Vira, where if you have one Brave Point and you basically just die. You'll die if you spot dodge. You die if you block the Raging Strike. You have to DP or super or something, right? I think Vira's pretty good. I don't know where exactly I want to put her though. Like she's. I think I've slightly soured on her as time has gone on. I think she's still like pretty. Like I don't think she's bad by any stretch of the imagination, right? And the character has a lot of tools. I think the character is generally pretty well rounded, but outside of some Raging Strike nonsense, I feel like she doesn't have the same kind of bullshit that a lot of the characters that I'm gonna place above her have. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think this is fine. I think it's okay. Oh god, dude, I get no time. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. Well, an hour 6 is not bad. Are the characters ordered in the tiers? Not hard, but yeah, roughly for sure. Like I think Narmaya's better than Zooey, right? But like, do I like is Soriz like a huge difference between Soriz and Vira? I don't know. Like if you want to do this or this, maybe. But yeah, like overall, yeah. Like I would say generally yes. Like I do think Lance is better than Zeta, is better than Cag, for example, right? I think this is like, yeah, maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in my opinion, right? Anyway, let's go back to Evo here. All right, Bubs. Beelzebub. Hey, I break tier list time. Oh no, I'm sorry. Beelzebub I think Beelzebub's actually pretty decent, right? Again, he's got, in a weird way, I would kind of classify him in sort of a similar, right, and sort of a similar vein as like Anre and Eustace, funnily enough, right? In the sense that he can do a whole lot of different stuff, though he's definitely more so angled towards playing that mid range, right? Playing that sometimes a zoner game, something like that, right? But obviously he's also got some really nice mix up close. He got some nice throw baits. Unisonic is a terrifying move. Unisonic in general is just a really nice way for him to cheat through the neutral if he has to, right? It's quite hard to deal with for a lot of characters. Some characters have really good answers to it, and that's kind of what determines a lot of the times how good Bubs' matchup into that character might be. But it's like he can play mid range, he can play long range, but he can also, right, very easily cheat his way in with Unisonic. He's got some really high damage in the corner for sure, and if he gets a U skill, he can get some really high mid screen damage too. He's got a command grab SBA, which is like genuinely pretty good. It just makes it like that's actually not bad at all. Like it's a genuine strength, right? To have like the ability to like enforce a pretty scary like frame 0 50-50 like that, right? Like you have to like either hard read it and guess and backdash or die. You can't block it, right? I think Bubs is pretty damn good, honestly. Nobody plays this guy. Easy yes. I'm honestly like somewhat inclined to agree. Nobody plays this dude at all. But like again, as I've fought more Bubs, like I think this is another character that I've gotten a lot higher on as time has gone on. As I fought more like good Bubs players that hadn't fought basically at all at the time that I made my original list, didn't have a say his ass. I don't really see it. I think he's got maybe he's a little again he might be a little bit slow in a lot of ways, right? So that's something. But like honestly, he's got nice buttons, he's got nice specials, he's got a lot of knowledge checks. But even once you get past the knowledge checks, it's just a lot of mental stack, a lot of different things he can do to you, things you have to look out for against him, right? So I'm gonna see who else ends up in S. Maybe I'll move him down. For now, we're gonna do this. He's gonna be like at the bottom end of this. He might end up being like here, right? But I think I'm gonna do this for now, and we'll see. I might move him down depending on who else ends up in S rank. If I'm like he doesn't belong in here. Where is 2B right now? Not ranked. We're gonna get to her. The DLC, all 4 DLC are last. He'll probably be like decently high. I think 2B's strong. I think he definitely got hit by the nerf, so I think he's still pretty good. We have to go back, by the way. All right, where was I? We got an hour break in Evo now, so it's easy. We're gonna be able to finish this whole thing off, hopefully, and even do some other stuff. Well, I mean, real quick. So again, we talked about it before. The thing that makes a character good in this game, in my opinion, generally, like big outlines, right, is one of the biggest things is a consistent game plan, right? A strong, consistent game plan that is not hard, that is easy to enforce and hard to stop, right? Now, listen, Abel's got a lot of good stuff. He's got a lot of good normals. Yo, Jives98, thanks for the follow. He's got a lot of good stuff. He's got a lot of good normals. He's got really high damage, obviously. He's got some pretty nice special moves. He's got some pretty nice mix, all of these things. The character has 14,000 health. And it's not 14,000 health, right? Again, like I was gonna, like, it really isn't. He uses probably about 3,000 to 4,000 of his own health every round just to, like, get the things that are strong about himself, the stuff that makes him special. So, like, in reality, Abel has, like, 11,000 or, like, 10,000 health, right? It just, like, doesn't fly in this game, man. Like, again, Abel can have rounds that are absurd. Right? You can like a round start, like 668 a guy, or even something that's like less gimmicky than that, right? Just like you can win neutral, do like, 35% of your health from mid-screen, and then take it to the corner, and then hit you again, and do the rest of the 65 on the second combo. Sure, for sure. But a lot of the times, he just like kind of spends a lot of the round winning, and then spends most of his health, and then gets killed on wake up from the next time the guy gets a turn, right? I think he got buffed in a couple of ways, right? The patch was weird in the sense that like, the Vane patch took away one of Abel's save jumps, is my understanding, but also it gave him a new kind of like no health spend combo, which is good. But I honestly still just don't see any other argument for a character being. He just like he has a lot of really good stuff to him, right? But he just dies most of the time. His very existence, he's in the wrong game, man. Like he has 14,000 health. Okay, Avatar has 14,000 health, and again, he doesn't have 14,000 health. He has 11,000 health, 10,000 health more accurately, right? This guy can do 28,000 damage. Now, of course, you're never going to see that, right? But in theory, right, this guy can do 28,000 damage. This guy has 14,000 health. He can get killed twice over. Now, to be a little bit more realistic, right, like Nier or Siegfried, or even like some characters, like a lot, even like not good characters, like not super high tier characters, right? A lot of them do like a lot of damage, man. Gran can do 10,000 damage from mid-screen. Pretty, like if he hits you with mid-screen, with a counter at close H and mid-screen, and he's close enough to get wall bounce, so it's like, like a little bit past the middle of the screen, Gran can do 10,000 damage, dude. That's like the health that guy has. He has 10,000 health, not 14,000 health, right? So I don't see it with Abel, unfortunately. I think he's got a lot of really strong stuff about him, but nothing will get past the fact that he has 10,000, 11,000 health in a game where everyone does like 6,000, 7,000 damage a hit, right? Okay, this is gonna be the biggest difference. Is it unblockable if Belial is the ultimate grab and I'm currently blocking his heavy projectile? You cannot be grabbed out of block stun, and in fact, there's a bunch of invulnerability after block stun. So no, you can never get a guaranteed grab in this game, with the only exception of on landing. If you catch someone on landing, there are 4 frames where the only thing you can do is block, spot dodge, or roll. None of those options be grab, at least not in the first 4 frames. So that's the only time. But what you're talking about there, Pompey, no, it should not be unblockable. You should have time to jump out. Anyway, Anila. Anila is probably the biggest change from the past Heroes to the next Heroes, right? This is the character that got buffed the most, I imagine. In like kind of a funny way, in kind of like they gave her like U sheep and 668, and now those are kind of like insane, right? And like Anila's all he knows like hyper fixate on those 2 things. But to be fair, if you remember, I mean, if you have been around since we made the last tier list, one of the things I made it with Lazy and Blast at the time, we all agreed basically that Anila is actually not bad. Like, she has like a lot of her stuff is really good. The problem is she just like didn't do any damage, right? Like we were talking about earlier, like one of the reason Abel is so bad is that everyone in this game hits you so goddamn hard when they hit you most of the time. And like this almost never did. Even in the corner, she didn't do that much damage. And in mid-screen, I mean, God forbid, right? She just didn't do anything. But besides that, she was pretty solid. Mostly her one glaring weakness was she just like didn't have any risk. Like her risk reward was so skewed out of her favor, she didn't do anything. Now with Metera at least, she hits pretty damn hard. 668 is a pretty good just counter hit tool that hits pretty damn hard too. I think they shored up like her biggest weakness essentially. I think she's pretty good. I don't think she's like up here good. I think she's pretty damn good, honestly. Like I think Anila is like we were talking. I think we put her in the bottom 5 or somewhere last time. I think she has moved up significantly. I think she's actually like, because I think she has like decent buttons. She's pretty good at like this whole normal zoner thing gameplay. And the sheep have a lot of recovery on them for sure. Which is like she's decent at like the whole keep away gameplay and things like that. And when she actually gets to counter hit you or whiff punish you, she gets a lot more reward off of it now because of the existence of you sheep comboing as it does, because of 668 letting her whiff counter hit you for like so much damage if you're trying to be a little bit too impatient in neutral against her, right? I think it got a lot better. Grimnir. Oh, also, I was thinking about it before I paused. Bubs is really good. I think I want to move him down here. It just doesn't seem quite right. I don't think he quite belongs up here with these guys, but I think he's really solid. I think he's very good. I think he's very solid. I think he has a lot of good tools. I just don't, I think he's almost like, how do I say, he's like too interactive, you know what I mean? Like, yes, there's a lot to keep on your mind when you're fighting Bubs, but like once you understand all of the different counterplay to his stuff, he's like too interactive. There's too much you can do when you're fighting Bubs, right? It's like all these characters like just work on like taking away all of your options and making it so everything you do kills you. He's not quite as good at that, it feels like, you know? Anyway, and the reason that reminded me of Bubs the minigame, yeah, exactly. Like you have to be looking out for a lot when you're fighting Bubs, but you can look out for it and like deal with it pretty reliably, right? You just have to be on your toes a little bit, right? Now the reason I got reminded by this is because I think this guy actually goes up here. I think it's very funny. I think that like as Grimnir has gotten developed more and as more people have played Grimnir and as like we've learned more about him, this guy is strong as hell, man. This character is very good. I think he has probably. I mean, he has some really nice buttons in, well, mostly far H, right, to be fair, but far H is a hell of a button. His 2H is actually really good, too. It used to be that we thought, everyone just thought it was just vertical. It's actually, if you see the hitbox viewer, it's pretty horizontally big also, right? Yeah, he's very difficult, for sure. He's very difficult. Other way to play him equals Zane. I saw Kill playing him, too, actually. Kill showed me a lot of stuff on Grimnir that I was like, I have no idea. I saw him playing a little bit of Grimnir, and I was like, oh, goddamn, right? I've fought a lot more better Grimnirs now. I think that Rends the Earth guy blocked me, but I fought him a bunch and he showed me some stuff too, right? But the point is, right, Grimnir he's kind of strange, again, he is a setup character a bit, right? In the sense of, when he doesn't have the seals up, Grimnir is only okay, right? His Fireball is still quite good and Far is still a good button, but when he doesn't have the seals up, he's only okay. The thing is, it's kind of hard to stop him from setting up the seals, right? Bring him down or I'll block you too. Listen, Cal, you can disagree with me as all you want, it's fine. But yeah, it's hard to stop him from setting up the seals because, and now again, he can hide, but his projectiles EX Tornado is pretty good, right? He just kind of puts it down, it's a wall in front of him. If you're trying to jump at him, he has some of the best anti-airs in the game with his 2H right there, right? So you kind of have to like, if he throws out EX projectile, you kind of have to just let him set up seals. And then unless you have like Seox, I guess, or something, you have like a projectile invul move that's very easily accessible, right? And then from there, with the seals up, Grimnir is like one of the trickiest characters in the whole game, right? His mid-screen gets very, very scary. Because he gets so much corner carry, he gets so much just mobility, right? So much mix. Like Grimnir makes me thank God there's a guard button in this game, for example, right? But then also, if he gets you to the corner, which he has a very easy time doing once he gets the seals, he has some of the best corner carry in the whole game with seals up, right? He can cancel like the seal dash into each other and extend combos. Then his the H bionic arm that he has too, like the little corkscrew there, that also wall bounces from really far away, right? Once he gets to the corner, if he has seals up there, Grimnir, in my opinion, has some of the scariest offense in like the whole game, right? Like blocking 4 seal Grimnir with 4 seals on your head, right? And he's doing all his fucking nonsense, like dashing around, up, left, right, down, right? Canceling into shit. Like the seals are minus on block, but he can frame trap if he has multiple seals, right? If he goes up diagonal with the last seal, he can act out of it in the air, right? So Grimnir, when he gets to his win condition, is very, very good. It's very strong, and I think it's a little bit. It's not. The reason, so yeah, so Cal, you're kind of mentioning it, right? The reason that I don't think, like, even though when Grimnir is in that state, I think he's like insane. The reason I think he is lower down here is because he has to set up to get there, and I think it's not super hard for him to get to that setup, right? But he still does have to set up, and he can't. And if he doesn't get going, Grimnir has some real bad defense, right? Like Grimnir is not very good at like stopping you from killing him if you can stop him from setting up. Now, I think it's a little bit difficult to stop him from setting up. So his game plan is strong and kind of hard to stop, right? But there is like a glaring, like, there is like some interactivity there, right? There's like a glaring, like, just, you know, either get him away from his seals, right, if he's a mid-screen, or like don't try to like do your best to like not let him set up in the first place, which a lot of characters are probably like not super bad at doing. But still, I think his game plan is very strong and not super hard to set up. But yes, Cal, his defense is awful. I'm not arguing that at all. His meterless DP is not very good. Or sorry, his metered DP is not very good, and it's metered, right? But yeah, I think Grimnir is pretty good. I think Grimnir is actually quite strong. Okay, Beatrix. Beatrix is so funny enough, right? Lots of dooming after the Beatrix nerfs. Beatrix has. I thought she was still pretty good on the day the nerfs dropped. I thought she was still pretty good. And as I've seen, like, just, you know, more people playing her. I mean, for example, we've been seeing Gamera rocking at Evil. That's Gamera. You don't judge a character based on Gamera, right? You judge her based on everyone else. But yeah, Beatrix is still very good. I don't know. I guess I'm pseudo ordering these tiers. Top 10. I mean, people again. Listen. Like hypothetically, right? Say that I don't know. Say I had 2B up here, and then I had Beatrix here, and she was top 11. Right? Who gives a fuck? Right? Beatrix is still very strong. People get a little too obsessed with is she top 10 or is she top 11 or is she top 12? Right? But no, Beatrix is definitely up here. I think. Do I? I feel like Zeta. I feel like I like Zeta. I think Zeta's better than Beatrix. Maybe that's crazy. I think Beatrix probably. I think I'll probably put her around here. Yeah, put her with her girlfriend. Why not? Maybe that's a little bit arbitrary, but I think I like to put her around here. Beatrix S tier. I think not S plus. I think she's still really good, honestly. I thought so. I thought she would drop down a little bit. Zeta is better. I agree. I think I agree. I think I thought she would drop down a little bit more, right? But it turns out her damage is now just like, it's average, but it's still not bad. She still has access to her highest damage easier than anyone else in the game because of how easily Beatrix can find counter hit close H's because of her move speed and her command grab. She still has a command grab, which is very good. Clock is still like a very nice mechanic when she gets it up. She still has like, her normals are, everyone said her normals were shit when she came out. They're not. You know, she's not Katalina, she's not Siegfried, but her normals are totally serviceable for everything else that she has, right? She's just a very solid, well-rounded character. Her corner carry is a little worse now, but still some of the best in the whole game, for sure. Her damage is still, it's not low at all at this point. And again, she still has, right? Well, maybe this is my own Beatrix opinion that I will hold until this changes, right? But I still think the best thing about Beatrix, even pre-patch, was move speed, command grab, 2-2H. Right? Unreactable 2-2H, being fast, having a command grab. That combination of three things, I think, is the strongest thing about Beatrix. And though they nerfed a lot of other stuff about her, that is basically untouched. So I still think she's pretty damn good, right? Now, is this a little high? I don't know, maybe. But again, like, okay, Beatrix she's not 8th, okay? She's 9th, she's 10th, she's 11th. Oh my god, suddenly Beatrix is so bad, right? I don't think so. But I do think she's actually still quite strong. I think she's quite strong. Now, on the other side of the coin, I'm gonna get all the DLC characters at the end here. Man, Vane. You know, listen, I got good news. For the Vane players. Bottom one, I got good news. Vane players. I'm with you. I think he's better than Avatar. Okay? I think he's better than Avatar. Dude, Vane doesn't do anything, man. I don't know. What does it like? He's like, okay, here's the thing, right? Here's my opinion on that. And this is not like, I don't think this is not like, I think everyone thinks Vane sucks, right? But if I had to summarize why I think Vane sucks, is his whole thing is he's the anti-air guy, right? You jump at him and he kills you. Now, is this guy's better at anti-airing than he is, probably, right? Like, this guy gets higher damage on anti-airs a lot of the time, right? Honestly, this guy gets higher damage on anti-airs a lot of the time. Okay, he's the anti-air guy. Cool. Now, the idea is, okay, so you jump at Vane and he kills you. Now, why would you jump at Vane? And that's where the crickets come in, right? Shield. You can't get around shield, so you want to jump so you can get over shield. Now you just dash through. Shield loses to 6XL. It loses to the universal mechanic, right? It loses to 6XL. Everyone's 6XL beats shield. If you you just dash through it, right? Oh, but he's not gonna let you do that. He's gonna, he's gonna energy destruction you. Yeah, it's minus in spot dodge, and most of them are actually like the air version is like punished. It's like minus 25 on spot dodge. You can like counter hit close H him for doing energy destruction all the time. But it's you can mix it. I mean, they're all reactable, right? But it's okay. But he'll zone you out with his buttons. Well, they're actually pretty small, right? His buttons are actually pretty small, so he can't even zone you out like outside of shield that well. Yeah, okay, but like, you know, I can't even like strawman anymore. What am I doing? Like, what does this guy do? Right? Right? Listen. The one thing is that U shield is a real move, right? U shield is a real move, and funny enough, even though Vane's supposed to be the anti-air guy, I find that the scariest stuff about Vane is actually if he can get you to the corner, which is corner carry isn't awful because Wild Beat is designed to push you back to full screen so that Vane can keep doing his zoning thing, right? But so what ends up happening is because Wild Beat pushes you so far, it's meant to be used for Vane to zone you, right? So you can get back to full screen and then he can keep zoning. What actually happens is Vane runs up after you and puts you in the corner, and there he actually is pretty scary, right? The other thing Vane does pretty well is his corner damage is actually quite high. And if he gets OK off of U shield or something like that, it's meter, to be fair. But U shield is a scary ass move, right? U shield is actually very, very good, right? You have to respect that. So because of that, Vane, I think, still has a game plan. It's just most of his kit is entirely unsynergistic with it and doesn't really work. However, he doesn't kill himself and have the lowest HP in the game, right? So I still think he's better than Abel, but I think Abel's really, really bad, right? So it's not saying I think Vane's worse than Ferry. I think Ferry is pure ass. Now Ferry beats the shit out of Ladiva, but I think Ferry is awful, right? So yeah, that's Vane. 2B. Okay, here's an interesting one, right? You give Abel 16k, I think it'd be fine. I mean, at that point, you have basically 13k health. That's a big deal. What's going on, Claude? Hi. 2B is interesting, right? 2B is still... This is Ferry up play? You might be right. You might be right, Nezu. You might be right. 2B is interesting, right? Because she got nerfed, and I think the nerfs were significant, right? For real. Skill gauge being a lot harder to come by is a big problem. Now, 2B is still quite good, though. Now, how good is a question, right? How good is an interesting question, because I think a lot of people hate fighting 2B and think 2B will run into problems fighting 2B because they fight her, in my opinion, in the wrong way, right? I think 2B basically is and I understand not liking this fighting her in this way, by the way, but I think 2B is a character that is basically designed to win the first neutral interaction like 90% of the time, right? She just wins the first interaction, and then you block her out, she runs out of pressure, because you can do that, or there's a lot of different ways, a lot of gaps in her pressure that are minus but safe. You can take your turn back on her, or a lot of stuff is like reactable, and you can roll through it and then take your turn back on her. And then 2B actually, I think, is truly in contest for the worst defense in the entire game. She has a 6-frame light, right? She doesn't have close normal, so a lot of her a lot of her moves are like pretty stubby, right? Her double jump is cheap, for sure, yes. Right? And her DP is the most expensive DP in the whole game. It is not just a meter DP, it also costs 4 skill gauge, right? Which is, again, her most important resource. And it's not even that good of a DP. That thing, you can jump over that thing pretty easily, right? So, 2B, I think, has some of, maybe the worst defense in the game, or close to it, right? But you have to let her win neutral once. Now, with that being said, winning neutral and getting someone to the corner in this game is a really big deal, right? Being in the corner in this game is horrible. And the fact that 2B gets to basically win neutral against most characters essentially for free at least once is a really big deal, right? That's kind of how I view the character. Now, with that in mind, I think she's quite strong, but I think she has very notable glaring weaknesses as a character, right? And for that reason, I don't think I can put her I think she goes somewhere roughly around here, right? Maybe I'm probably better than Narmaya, but I think she's vaguely here. If you really wanted to move Bubs and move 2B up here, maybe I could see it, right? But I think 2B has she does have big glaring weaknesses for the character. It's just that you have to play her game, and I feel like a lot of people do not want to play her game, right? And I understand why, because it's really fucking boring, right? Because she's playing against 2B slows the game down a significant amount, right? You have to play really slow against 2B, because the way to do it is basically to either burn her out of resource or block her until she runs out of pressure, or just, wait your turn, and then once you take your turn, you can start to bully her, right? So I think she does, it's not a fun thing to play against for a lot of people, and I understand that, but I don't think it's that, I think there are there's very clear counterplay to her, at the very least, right? Lucy. Lucy is, we know he's getting buffed at Evo. I know I saw a lot of Lucillius mains dooming about his buffs and saying they weren't enough. I always thought Lucillius was kind of vaguely middle of the pack on the lower end, right? So here's the thing about Lucy, right? The cooldowns, obviously, is the big one. But let's talk about what's good about him for a second, right? Lucillius has some very nice special moves, right? To justify those cooldowns, he has some really nice special moves. He's plus on fucking everything, right? He has some really nice mid-screen damage too. Lucillius actually has really, really good mid-screen damage off of the little, that little flick. What's going on? Great, hi. The little sword flick up where he can slam down too, right? That gives him really good mid-screen damage. So he can combo off of it. He can do lots of specials in a single combo. His combo routes are also very varied. They are designed that way purposefully. So if one of your specials is on cooldown, excuse me, sorry, I got the hiccups apparently. If one of your specials is on cooldown, you can still use all your other specials to combo, right? So he's got some very nice mid-screen damage, very, very nice damage in general, to be honest with you, in a lot of cases. He's got some pretty nice specials, pretty nice use skills. Of course, the big elephant in the room always is he just gets stuck a lot of the times, right? His cooldowns are so goddamn long. 12 seconds, I think, at level 1. 10 seconds even at level 0, sorry. Is it 10 seconds at level 2 or level 1? I mean, he alternates doing cooldown reduction and damage boost, right? I think every odd level is a cooldown reduction, every even level is a damage boost, right? So level 1 he goes to 10 seconds, level 3 he goes to 8 seconds, level 5 he gets to 2 seconds or something, but the point is, right? Him having to get set up is kind of like Vaseraga, right? Having to get set up, and just like Grimnir too, in a game where setup is so difficult because everyone is so goddamn aggressive, it's a tall task. Now Grimnir, I think, can just put out his projectile, his tornado, sit behind it and set up, and he's good, right? Vaseraga struggles that heavily to getting set up, I think, and I think Lucillius is in a similar camp. I think Lucy has a hard time getting set up. Yeah, 12 second level 0 is rough. That's right. Exactly. I think it's significantly harder for Lucy to get set up than either of them. Correct, but I also think Lucy with no setup is like 100 times better than Vaseraga, to be fair, right? Like Lucy with no, like Vaseraga is not a character, right? Again, no Soul Forge, no meter Vaseraga is like for dramatic effect, right? No Soul Forge, no meter Vaseraga is here, right? To be fair, right? Like, let's not get, like, Vasaraga's only here because of what happens when he has Soul Forge and when he has meter, right? Vaseraga without Soul Forge and without meter is like down. He's like his own class of complete garbage, right? So Lucillius before setup is way better than Vaseraga, in my opinion, but it is hard for him to set up. So for that reason, I still don't think he can. I still don't think he can go that high, right? I think he's still not very good. I mean, is he like worse than? Is he worse than like Eustace? This I will say this like A tier is weird to me. This like character that I'm not super impressed by. I'm not sure that I'm like ordering this hard, right? I feel like I like B tier feels pretty like I have like this feels right to me. Like I have an order in my head here. S tier and S plus tier for sure, right? A plus tier vaguely, but A tier is weird for me. Like these characters are all just like vaguely unimpressive, but not total ass. You know what I mean? So like you could move it around for sure. You can move it around. A tier is soup. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's just kind of like vague characters that I don't think are very good, but they're not like, you know, they're not these guys. Yeah. I think that's about it. I think I'm relatively comfortable with this, right? Like again, like yeah. So I would say so. I talked about this when I wasn't recording, but Nier, funny enough, after the patch came out, will I be uploaded this to YouTube later? Yeah, I will. This will be out tomorrow probably actually. After the patch came out, I thought Nier would be a lot lower, right? Because at the time when the patch came out, we thought that the only thing that was like really broken about Nier was comboing off her DP, right? Well, really broken. People already knew that other stuff was good about her, right? But it turns out like Nier players weren't even using 2-2U, 2-3-6U, looping 50-50s, right? Like all like the unblockable Raging Strike setup, right? They weren't using her normals as much as they could have been. Like it turns out that once the DP got nerfed, Nier players were like, oh wait, shit, there's like 7 other things that are so good about this character. And through that development, I've kind of come back to like, oh wait, okay, well, she is still the best character in the game, actually. I thought she was going to be like, post-nerf, I thought it was going to be like down here, actually, somewhere. But no, turns out she's still incredibly good. Siegfried is right there up there with her. But like, again, I think all these fellas are pretty close. I will say, the more I look at this, Djeeta's really strong. The more I look at this, the less I like her up here with these 4. Like, when I think of Grand Blue, when I think of who are the best characters in the game, right? Djeeta's really good. It feels a little wrong to me. I will say. It feels a little wrong to me. These 4 just like stand out so much in my head as like just being ridiculous. And Djeeta, I don't even have like I can't even put it into words very well. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like even though Djeeta I think is actually Ladiva's worst matchup, by the way. I think Djeeta might be Ladiva's worst matchup, worse than Ferry, worse than Cagliostro, worse than everyone, right? But that's not what I'm ranking on. I'm not ranking on how good Ladiva fights them. I'm ranking on just how I feel. And Djeeta feels, I don't know. She feels more interactive, I suppose. It's the only way I can describe it. Same thing with Bubs, right? I can't put it into words, but Djeeta does not feel like Seox and Belial and Siegfried and Nier. The closest comparison is Belial, and I guess the reason it doesn't feel like Belial to me is he just hits like 3 times as hard as she does, man, and it's not that hard for him to find the hit, you know? Like he's probably better at the footsie game than he is like overall, maybe. I mean, though he has far H, right? Right? Like he has far like he is worse Belial, right? Yeah, Ultrek is dumb, for sure. I agree, right? She is worse. Her ult skills are better than Belial, right? And her, I think in general, maybe her like footsie's game is slightly better. I mean, Belial's far H though, right? But like, he just does, it's not that big of a difference, right? And he doesn't need his ult skills anyway. And he just does like triple the damage that she does when she hits you, you know? When he hits you. And his fireball is like 100 times better than hers, right? So like, I'm actually okay with moving her down here, I think I'm okay with moving her down here. Even though she is still very strong, right? It's exactly what I was talking about earlier. If Djeeta's here, it's not like suddenly I'm like, I don't know, I think Djeeta's fine. I think she's just like, I think she's not even that good. No, she's still really strong. I think these 4 are in sort of a class of their own. And by the way, I don't think there's a huge difference between these 4, right? Like, Nier and Siegfried feel maybe a little better than Belial and Seox to me, right? But like, they're not. It's not a tier separation. I think they're pretty close. These 4 to me are like, these are the monsters of the game in my mind, right? We can compare. Let's compare to the last tier list. Let me pull that up real quick. And see how. Let me see if I'm just vomiting the same opinions over and over. If the patch actually changed anything. Oh, here's something. Let's let me side by side these real quick. There you go. No. I just want these. Don't do this to me, Windows. Not Cloud Strike, not again. What the hell? Well, hold on, I'm Unk. I can't do it. I can't handle the technology. It's too strong for me. Okay, wait. You do this. No, no, no. You do that. There you go. And then you do that. Wonderful. It's not that hard. Okay, so let's see how this has changed. Yeah. So again, as even though Seox got nerfed, right? Actually, but I feel like I've kind of gotten a lot higher on Belial and on Seox. Lance is also very good for sure, right? Djeeta. Oh yeah. So the big changes here, right? So Nier, Siegfried, Lance, Belial, Lancelot, Belial, and Seox. Cagliostro, Zeta, that's all relatively similar, right? Beatrix obviously joins the fight, right? Yeah, Percival gains. Now, to be fair, this is not just Percival, his buffs, right? I think also just, like, as I've fought more Percival, I've discovered, like, oh, yeah, he does have, like, a lot of good stuff, actually, right? Yeah, there's fewer characters in A-tier soup. That's a good point, yeah. I think it's, like, as I've gotten a better idea of a lot of characters, I've discovered, like, oh, there's actually a lot of good characters in this game. Bottom tier has not changed too much. Vaseraga has escaped, because, I mean, I feel like the buffs did help him a little bit, right? And also, I feel like I've just seen a lot more cool Vaseraga stuff. What's going on, Lazy? We're comparing and contrasting tier lists. I don't understand why Eustace is so low. Listen, man. Again, Eustace, I will admit, this is the if you want to tell me that Eustace is like 3 tiers off, I could believe you. But my feel from what I know about Eustace is that I feel like he's not that great at anything except you grenading you. But again, I could be wrong. Eustace, I'm not gonna put my cape on from Eustace take too much. I'm okay. I actually would feel pretty comfortable defending the rest of this list like pretty hard, right? But like Eustace, if you want to tell me that he should be an S and I'm wrong, I'm not going to move him there because I still don't think that, but I could definitely see myself being wrong given new evidence, right? Anyway, yeah, I've gotten Metera moved down, Ferry moved down. I mean, yeah, these are not really that big of a difference, right? It's not that different, I don't think, right? In the bottom here. Anila obviously hopped all the way up. Vane joins the fight here, right? Voss moved up a little bit. Twitch isn't working in here. Have fun doing your list. Oh, well, it's okay, Lazy. Good to see you anyway. Have fun. Good luck at Evo. Yeah, it hasn't changed like a ton, huh? The one thing, like, definitely, like, the top tier shifted a bit. Just in terms of, like, I'm a lot higher on Djeeta now than I used to be. Beatrix is in here. Grimnir, I mean, Grimnir, we evolved up a little bit, I guess, right? But I think it's not hugely different, and that kind of makes sense, right? Because the Vane patch was not promoted. Yeah, I mean, I've also, as I fought more K-Tang and Can of Sprite and things like that, I've definitely, like, been, like, hit by a lot of Narm stuff that I was like, oh, that's actually kind of spooky. Okay. But yeah, like, it's just mostly me gaining more knowledge about the game, in my opinion. And then also just, like, there are some changes that are directly from the patch, right? Again, like, Percival, I mean, Anila for sure is a patch difference, right? That's, like her moving this high up, that is not just me playing more against more Anila, that's, like, Anila just getting buffed pretty significantly, I think, right? Yeah, I mean, Zooey getting slightly promoted too, right? Again, this was also kind of a soup last time. But again, when are you going to gain more knowledge about CAG and put her in B tier? I don't think so, though. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But you know what, Nezu? Maybe one day we'll agree. We'll see. Yo, Henzo, thanks for the raid, man. Thanks for the raid. Much appreciated. Hope you had a good stream there, sir. Oh, Hanzo, sorry. I don't know why I read that as an E. I'm Unk, bro. They're calling me Unk in the right. Makes more sense. Hanzo's a cooler name, too. Anyway. Yeah, so it's not a huge shift, right? I definitely feel more comfortable saying, like, you know, Belial, Seox are like, on the same tier as, like, Nier and Siegfried, but yeah. I was kind of trying. Oh, I guess, yeah. As time has gone on, right? I guess this is one of the other really big changes, right? It's like I've gotten a lot higher on Gran and a lot lower on. A lot higher on Djeeta, and a lot lower on Gran, right? Like I feel like Gran is. Last time I was like, yeah, the same character, no? But again, it's the devil in the details there, right? The devil in the details about like the things that make Gran and Djeeta different, in my opinion, right? Singularity split, yeah. Djeeta is the stronger, the Tokui 10, I suppose. But yeah, we'll see. So this is like relatively similar, right? I feel like the overall landscape of the game hasn't changed like a ton, right? We doing a JP-like tier list in the future where we rate characters based on their best players? Maybe. What's this? I didn't loop the Pokken Village theme. That's fine. It's kind of cool too. What the hell? I'm gonna go back because I like the Pokken Village theme, the Poke Village theme. But what I was playing like there was pretty cool. Anyways, it hasn't changed a ton. I'm very curious. The point of this would be like a pre-patch tier list, right? No, Besu, no, I didn't do it. The point is to be like a pre-patch tier list, see how things stand before 1.5. Because again, right, this is one of those things where the Vane patch was meaningful in some ways, but it was not a big patch, and they did not market it as such. This one is apparently a major balance change. So if we do another one of these, right, a month later or something, right, I expect this tier list to be very different to the one that we make after the August patch comes out, right? Because this one is relatively similar, right? Actually, if when I think about it, it hasn't moved. Not a lot of stuff has moved around, right? I mean, Gran went down, Djeeta went up, Seox and Belial went up, Beatrix is new, Grimnir went up, right? Bubs went up slightly. Yeah, I've got a little bit more respect for Bubs. But a lot of characters are in the same spot. Yuel, Katalina, right? Ferry, Lucillius. Like, they're all within, like, plus or minus 3 spots, basically, right? That's just like, you know, you just ask someone on a different day, they're gonna have a slightly different opinion. So I'm pretty happy with this, I think. I'm pretty happy with this list. Everyone, Percival's bottom 1 simpler times. To be fair, I also don't think, like, I really don't think Percival was... I don't think Percival's buffs are, like, super meaningful, right? He got better. But I think, in hindsight, I think this was probably wrong at the time, to be real with you. I didn't have a lot of... I just kind of deferred to Blast and Lazy on Percival, because I just didn't know anything about... I hadn't fought a Percival on ranked ever, right? But in hindsight, I think this is probably... Even at the time, this was probably wrong. He probably wasn't very much higher than this, but I don't think he was bottom 1, right? This was probably incorrect, is my guess. I think Percy is a little bit... Even just baseline was a little bit better. But obviously, his buffs did help a lot. Cool. Well, that is a tier list. What a time to be alive. He never should have gotten buffed. He still hasn't paid for his crimes for vanilla. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Everyone, Percy is apparently really, really good in vanilla, is my understanding. I haven't played vanilla, but I'll take your word for it. That's going to do it for the tier list. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. Onk SPD. Hello, hello. Yo, Jace, congrats, man. Awesome, you got Master. Congrats on the promotion there, man. That's I'm happy for you. See, you said you got to believe in yourself. There you go. Yeah, just giving it one last once over there. I'm like, no, I think it's good. Like, is there anything else that, like, feels wrong to me? Everyone's telling me Lowain's too high. Maybe you're right. Forgiven's telling me Eustace is too low. I mean, I will say, Forgiven is a master Eustace. Forgiven is probably right about Eustace, and I'm probably wrong. But for now, I still have my own opinion, so I'm gonna keep it there. But yeah, besides that and Lowain, I think I'm relatively confident in all of this. Okay, well, hope you guys enjoyed the tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's gonna do it for me. We're gonna keep streaming for the Twitch guys. Probably gonna do like a patch wish list video or something real quick. I'm kind of using this as I wanted to do this first, use it as a base. Move Avatar up? Nope. He's awful. And I disagree, Miyato. I'm sorry. Yeah, I gotta use this tier list as a base, probably for a patch wish list, but we'll do that in a second here. For the YouTube guys, hope you guys have a good time. As always, you know how it is. Any kind of likes, subscribes, comments, bells, all greatly appreciated on this video. As always, it's not just good for the algorithm. It certainly is good for that, and I appreciate it, but it's also good for the human, for me, for feedback. Do you guys like this kind of video? Do you want me to make more stuff like this? Let me know. Also, there's a Discord if you want to join that. Link in the description there. It's a nice place to learn about the video game, but also a nice community to, you know, get up there, make friends, have some fun. Just be nice if you do join, or I'll shoot you in the head in Minecraft. If you're in the stream right now, by the way, !Discord is how you can get there too if you're interested. But yeah, just be nice or I'll shoot you in the head in Minecraft. Also, I stream. I'm doing it right now. I stream every day from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. So come by and hang out. It's a great time. We have a good time around here. Link in the description there too. Most importantly, hope you guys had a great time hanging out today. As always, I know I sure did. Yeah. That is going to do it for me. Having a lot of fun. Graham, there's going to be a lot more coming your way, but until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.